Hello, my friends. Welcome to my Garden for the Northwest Fire and Garden Show. We have had an incredibly full week. It has been 3.5 days of setup, 5 days of show, and just another amazing, wonderful experience. I want to welcome you to forest bathing. This concept was dreamed up last year at the show, and really I wanted to kind of celebrate my more introverted side that really feels like nestled and taken care of by the islands of the Pacific Northwest. So we're talking Bainbridge Island and Whidbey Island. Those were just huge points of inspiration for me. So I'm going to turn you around and bring you in. So essentially you're greeted at the opening by these two amazing service berries. This is Amelanchier, Autumn Brilliance. And one of the things that I really wanted is I wanted it to feel like it was framing the tub on the interior of the garden. There's a lot of little details. Like I said, this is inspired by the islands of the Pacific Northwest. And so therefore I had to bring in some incredible logs. And these are actually from a friend's property on Bainbridge Island. And I have to say, these little mushrooms have been the absolute star of the show. You know, I did one of my favorite tricks of all time here with bulbs. I like to plant my daffodils with grasses because I feel like the foliage actually really highlights each other. It blends in a little bit, and so it looks like you have all these floating tete-a-tete daffodils as you go through. Another thing that I talked about was the sculpture of an Amelanchier and how even though it is a deciduous element, by uplighting it, a multi-trunk, it creates a little bit of almost like jewelry and art in the garden. As you come through, you're going to notice a couple of different things. I really love to layer in my evergreen and my deciduous elements. We have an incredible witch hazel Gelina here. And then as we make our way over to the tub, there's a lot of like interesting little things that I tried to do. So this hose is actually made by the folks at Goodland. And what's cool is it even has this amazing brass nozzle that you can purchase. And so what I did is if you look at my lighting here, we have this beautiful copper lighting that even showcases an awesome brass band at the back. So it's all about tying these elements together. And of course, the concept of forest bathing is really twofold. There's actually the Japanese art of forest bathing, and then I've literally created a forest in which you can bathe. This is an incredible tub from Goodland. It is wood burning. It is made of marine grade aluminum. There's a little bit of insulation wrapped around, and then it is paneled in this incredible cedar. I have it staged here with just a little cup of tea. It's kind of this unwind moment. And the show director, he's saying he did not put in a little rubber ducky, but I think it was actually him. In the background, we have just an incredible forest that's been formed with this spruce, this blue spruce on my left. We have 3 incredible incense cedar, which again is just adding another little layer here in terms of what I need my healing spaces to be. Coming back to this side, something that I really try to do is I try to give people little nuggets to take in. So here is this golden sambucus, this elderberry, and down here at the base, just to bring it full circle and add a little extra detail, I actually did include a container full of actual elderberries in this amazing hollowed out cedar stump. As we come through here, I've utilized one of my absolute favorites, our evergreen huckleberry, beautiful white totos, and sweeping through, and look at this, by the end of the show, my midwinter fires are just pushing up. They're so adorable. I've lined a lot of little details around, and then as we get to our medicinal garden, I've sourced things like lingonberry, lemon balm, which, by the way, this is only a show. Otherwise, this lemon balm should be in a pot. We've got incredible scented geranium. This first one here, this is chocolate mint. I mean, come on, look at that variegation. It's so good. We have Roman chamomile, golden feverfew, some beautiful English thyme. This is great in tea with lemon. This is an incredible mint. It's called basil mint. It has a really round, beautiful, soft leaf to it, which is a super addition. And then, of course, we have the most adorable native Viola labradorica. Then over here we have Rose of Attar, which is just, again, a beautiful scent. And funny enough, it actually pushed up a little flower during the show for us. And then I've centered this all on my own personal tea collection. So these are elements that I use in my life, either as a cup of tea or in addition to a bath. And we have a variety of really beautiful things here. You're going to notice raspberry leaf, blue lotus, rose petals, nettle, holy basil, calendula. These are all just beautiful herbs that I love to incorporate into my own life. This is my chance to kind of introduce you to something that's near and dear to my heart. And I always want to tell a story. And this is the story of essentially how this extrovert needs time to introvert as well. And then behind we have a kind of backdrop of Camellia sinensis. This is actually the tea camellia. This is what people truly make tea out of. It will not withstand the winters in our region. So this is something that's going to actually go on to live in a greenhouse. So it'll come out in the summer and back in the winter. And then as we come down here, we end with this sweet, sweet little witch hazel, which is Gelina. And from this little exit point, you can see that just gorgeous tub. I'm going to give you a quick little peek around the outside. I wanted this to feel natural, organic, still playful, still fun. I've used these incredible basalt columns. These were absolutely massive. You guys saw me pick these out at Marinakos. And then I simply filled in the cracks here with a few little wooden elements to tie it all together. Coming around the outside, this is a rhododendron called Ramapo. I've used a few little deciduous elements, some more of my favorite ferns, tucking in some Iris reticulata, some candy tuft, a few little live mosses. And then the other thing I did here is because I wanted this wall to feel super textural, I've used some of this beautiful huckleberry stackstone around the edges and filled it with additional moss. Now, one little touch that probably most people won't know, but this huckleberry stackstone that you saw me pick out at Marinakos, this is also from Canada. So it was really important that I bring a little Canadian element to further tie in our theme of forest bathing with that incredible tub. And then this is another plant. This is Fothergilla. This is one of my favorites. It is such a beautiful little item. And here's the deal. Some people would say, why on earth would you put a deciduous plant in a display garden? But I wanted this to simulate actual nature, right? And not everything is evergreen. Not everything is show ready. So sometimes you need a few little things that are still asleep. This is spring. And then as we come around the front, I have this incredible Leucothaway scarletta. And this was that combination I was talking about. This incredible, deep, deep burgundy leaf. We've got the sweet little oak leaf primrose. And it just gives the little something here at the entrance to tie it all together. And then I want to come in here and I want to show you this lighting. Okay, this is a light, an uplight, a super beautiful brass uplight. Let's see if that shows it off, by FX. And this is the most incredible jewelry to add to the garden. And like I said, having an uplight on a multi-trunk takes it from just another tree into a piece of living sculpture that you can just enjoy time and time again in your garden, no matter what time of year. Okay, from this vantage point, what is really special about this garden is it feels like this is the entrance that draws you in. So the first entrance frames the tub, and this one feels like it pulls you into the space. And originally I had designed this as a one-way exhibit, but kind of after thinking it through and seeing it in action and actually widening this pathway an additional foot, it ended up being this beautiful walkway that so many people could enjoy, and it actually felt quite spacious in here. Coming through on this side, I have more little touches from Bainbridge. I've got this gorgeous log with old ferns growing on it. And then as we come through, again, working in some salal, which is one of our natives. I use this sweet little iris that unfortunately has seen the last, let me see if, it's just this super deep, gorgeous purple with a little tiny bit of yellow on it. This is an Iris reticulata, one of my absolute favorite bulbs. And then coming through here, this gorgeous cedar stump. This was also from a tree that fell on the property on Bainbridge. And what happened is I had my partner carve this out. So he used a chainsaw as well as an angle grinder to smooth out this interior and give me a little planting pocket. Kind of zooming up here, this was designed as a sort of micro version of this landscape. So I'm using things like Mahonia nervosa, which typically I don't think you'd really put in a pot. And I'm mixing it with some edimentals that I really love. Instead of a classic centerpiece, I am using a blueberry. And of course, I really love little details. So I have added a shiny little glass mushroom just for a nice little whimsical moment. Sweeping around here, I had this staged as kind of tea for two, a calm, relaxing end to the evening, and showcased a couple little goodies that I really enjoy. This first one is called the Wick Candle. This is made by a company called Gray Pants here in Seattle. And what's really neat is it actually has 4 settings. So here it is off, low, medium, bright, and then I don't know if you can really see this if it comes through, but this is the flicker setting, and it is just this like beautiful, warm light, and it has a nice little hand feel to it. And then on the back side, it has its charging port, so you can recharge this and use it. I actually really enjoy using these outdoors for entertaining because as you know, you really can't have candles outside. They always blow out. The other thing, this is one of the most beautiful pieces in this entire show. This is the handheld shower. This is inspired by the Japanese art of bathing, and it is an incredible, incredible piece. Of course, here we go. I think the show director is punking me with this duck, but essentially, when you're using the Goodland tub and you want to wet your hair, you simply scoop up a little bowl full of water and let it gently trickle out. I mean, just absolutely stunning. And then as we sweep through, just more delicate little moments. That beautiful garden hose, my witch hazel, my Austrian pine, and then another little micro landscape to finish it off. So there we are. This is a wrap. This is the end of the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival. It has been an absolute joy to share this adventure with you. I did a lot of firsts this year. I had a seminar. I did Container Wars. It was a big year here for me to connect with more influencers, more garden professionals, gardeners from around the world, and it has been an absolute treat. I hope you have enjoyed the ride with me, and I guess I'll just end by saying, say hello to your garden for me. We'll see you in the next one.